Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another exciting, titillating, orgasmic edition of Radical Rockin Record Reviews. And I'm your host, Wild Ride bassist Mick Watkins, otherwise known as Dick Twatkins, baby. Anyway, we're back here with a new episode, and I want to get down to a little vinyl unboxing today, okay? I've kind of started going down this questionable, curious rabbit hole known as kind of collecting, kind of giving a shot, kind of giving a chance to counterfeit, bootleg vinyl of releases that the artist or the record label or whoever doesn't give a chance for reissues, at least not yet. But all three of these titles, I just purchased three titles, three albums of mine that I've always wanted on vinyl that I could never get officially. So when a buddy of mine, Josh Maynard, bassist for the awesome fucking Southern rock and roll, new Southern rock and roll band, Guns for Hire, based out of like Lexington, Kentucky or somewhere like that. Josh Maynard, a fucking good buddy of mine. He turned me on to a Facebook group called Wax Sabbath. All right, Wax Sabbath. And I was like, dude, I love vinyl. I love Black Sabbath, Wax Sabbath. Sounds good to me. So he sent me an invite to this group. And it's a counterfeit, bootleg vinyl fucking group where you go on there and, dude, they have an awesome selection of releases. And, you know, I watch the videos each week. They throw up videos and stuff, and of the new stuff they have of stuff that they like previously have in stock. And you get on the live videos and you see a title you want, and you tell them, be like, I want this and this and this for this price, blah, blah, blah. And the dude goes, bam, 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 bam. And then you get your stuff, and it's greatly packaged in the mail. I have bought now 4 things from them. I bought a couple previous albums from them, and I was very impressed. Bought 2 previous, actually. So this will be my, all in all, I've bought 5 records from them, and the other 2 I was pretty impressed with. So I thought after I seen this selection that I bought, thought that I'd give it another shot. And well, right here, we're going to do a vinyl unboxing. And maybe I might even be able to rig it up to where I edit the video to where, I can go and listen to them once they're opened, and then come back and tell you how they sound. So let's check out the titles that I got. First, we're gonna go with an artist that I have been a huge fan of since I was like a little kid, basically, going back to like the mid-90s. Like this artist is fucking awesome. I love him. I know a lot of viewers of this channel might not be the biggest fans of this artist and this band, but I fucking love it. And I'm gonna go with Marilyn Manson. I've been a big fan of Marilyn Manson since this release that I'm getting ready to show you the counterfeit vinyl version of. So without further ado, this was the release that made me a fan. I remember when I was 10 years old, and my cousin Tiffany, who's maybe like a year or 2 older than me, she was staying at my house. It was either during spring break or summer break from school or something. And I remember we were staying up late one night hanging out, watching MTV and shit. And I remember this video came on, the video for Marilyn Manson's Sweet Dreams came on. And I remember it was brand new at the time because at the bottom of the screen it had the Buzzworthy label thing. And I remember seeing this video, this spooky looking fucking dude in his band. And he's covered in what looks like pig shit or something. He's covered in pig shit, and he's riding around on a pig with a fucking cowboy hat on. And then he's like in the sewer drain with doves all over him, and he's screaming, he's singing, and he's covered in dove shit. It scared the fuck out of me, and it seemed so dangerous. And I was, at this point in time, I was already a fan of Alice Cooper from seeing, Alice Cooper on Wayne's World and shit. And I was into Sabbath a little bit, AC/DC, Aerosmith. So seeing this, and this was right up my fucking alley, So this album, even though it's technically a 3-song EP with like 12 or 13 more fucking insane tracks, psychedelic, drugged out, tripped out tracks, this has always been a kind of sentimental release for me. Talking about 1995's Marilyn Manson classic. This is what broke Marilyn Manson into the mainstream, or the mainstream with Sweet Dreams. Got a counterfeit vinyl of this. We're gonna check it out. Smells Like Children. Smells Like Children. Fucking insane release. Side number 1 has it's just a bunch of kind of sound effects. A lot of this album is remixes of like other songs, like the song. This is basically like a single for the song Dope Hat, which is off 1994's Portrait of American Family. So a lot of this, even though this doesn't contain Dope Hat on it, it's got a lot of like remixes of Dope Hat on here. And a lot of remixes, like Diary of a Dope Fiend is a remix of that. You got Kitty Grinder, which is like a remix of Organ Grinder. It's got some covers on it. Sweet Dreams Are Made of This. Everlasting Cocksucker is like I believe that's also like a remix of Dope Hat. It's been so long since I've listened to this. It's not something I really listened to in full. I'll cherry pick Sweet Dreams. I Put a Spell on You, which is a Screamin' Jay Hawkins cover. And the song that's on this album that I absolutely love, and honestly, it's probably my all-time favorite Marilyn Manson song, is Rock and Roll Nigger. Fucking love that song. Fucking rules. If you haven't heard Marilyn Manson Rock and Roll Nigger, you need to spin that song like now, dude. That's fucking straight up heavy metal, punk rock mastery, done with an industrial 90s tinge. Marilyn Manson and his band. Yeah, it's got Fuck Frankie on it. Fuck Frankie's awesome. Lots of times me and my buddy John Bon Jovi are hanging out at the bar. We'd be drinking beer and slamming drinks and shit. We'll get on those touch tune things where you get the app and you pay money to like play songs. You know, so let's say we're hanging out at this bar, this place called Hideout Pizzeria, which is in Valley Station, this area of Louisville, Kentucky, where I live. And normally around here, it's a cool area, but it's really kind of full of like rednecks and shit. You know what I mean? Everybody around here, majority of the people are into like fucking like redneck bro, like country music and shit. You got that kind of stuff. And then they like hip hop and crap like that. So, you know, when everybody's like loaded and least expecting it, we'll throw on Fuck Frankie. And you see the whole place gets silent, and everybody's heads start turning around and looking around. They're like, what the fuck is this? So if you've never heard Fuck Frankie, play Fuck Frankie right now. It's awesome. So yeah, anyway, this album's bizarre. If you've never listened to this, get the feeling going on, get the vibe going on, and yeah, you'll know what I'm talking. This is a trip. So yeah. So let's give it a vinyl unboxing, shall we? Hang on. Let's give this a vinyl unboxing, shall we? Got Marilyn Manson, Smells Like Children. Got the cover. Cover's pretty decent looking for a counterfeit. Love that cover. It's like a spin-off of like Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. And then I know Marilyn Manson got that image with the top hat on, the creepiness and shit. He got that influence from the Child Catcher from the movie Shitty Chicken Gangbang, whatever the fuck it's called. I've actually never seen that movie. I was just reading about it. But yeah, Marilyn Manson, so the Shitty Chicken Gangbang, or the Shitty Bang Bang, whatever the fuck it's called. Never really seen that movie. Maybe I need to watch it. But I know after reading his book and reading interviews that, yeah, he got that image influence from the Child Catcher from that movie. And in the back, I love this picture. This is my favorite variation of the Marilyn Manson band. This is back when Marilyn Manson was more of a band than it was now. Now and subsequent years ago, maybe like 2004-ish, 2005. Since that point on, Marilyn Manson's been kind of more like a solo band. Almost kind of like the difference between the Alice Cooper group and then when Alice Cooper went solo on Welcome to My Nightmare. Well, this is kind of more when Marilyn Manson was a band. And in my opinion, this is the best version of the band. You got my all-time favorite member, one of my favorite bass players ever, my favorite Marilyn Manson member. Love him to death. Fucking Twiggy Ramirez is awesome. He's one of the reasons I started playing bass when I was a teenager. Was Twiggy Ramirez. Ginger Fish on drums, of course Marilyn Manson on lead vocals. Madonna Wayne Gacy, otherwise known as Pogo, on keyboards and synthesizer and samples. He's like the mastermind of this album. That fucking bald freak right there. And then Daisy Berkowitz on guitar. He's also just... When Daisy Berkowitz left the band, he was only on Portrait of American Family and this album. And then he did some songwriting on Antichrist Superstar. But Daisy Berkowitz, dude, such an insanely individualistic, original sounding guitar player. It fit this era of Marilyn Manson very much, which was very kind of kooky and spooky and psychedelic and kind of weird. Yeah. Best version of Marilyn Manson was those guys right there. You know, I mean, if you look at the cover and the back cover, there's the back cover of the guys, fucking awesome. You know, for a counterfeit, you know, the cover's a little blurry because it's kind of like blown up from like a CD booklet. But dude, it looks fucking good. It looks good. I'm very impressed, and I'm glad to have this on vinyl because, dude, it's been years since this was re-released on vinyl, and honestly, I don't know if the Marilyn Manson albums will ever get reissued. And if they do, of course, I'll pick them up. But this will do right now. This is awesome to have this, and I just love it. Love that album cover. My favorite Marilyn Manson album cover, easily. So let's take our Wild Ride, Dick Watkins signature guitar pick. Let me charge it up in the black light. Look, you can see it. You can see it glowing. So yeah, I got that Wild Ride signature Dick Watkins guitar pick. I need to order some more of these. You find the slit. And then, you know, you do what we do best, right? We penetrate the slit. Like all you rock and rollers! That's what we do best. We penetrate slits. Best way to open vinyl with a guitar pick. Although Dr. Fuck Ralph Vieira does that too. So here, we're going to take off the shrink. I'll peel it out right now. Yeah, dude, the album cover looks better. It looks less pixelated, kind of, without the shrink. Check it out. Love it. Album cover. It looks fucking awesome. There you go. It smells like children. There's the back cover again. Take it out. All right, so let's see what kind of goodies. Oh, shit. All right, cool. So you pull it out, and this is the dust sleeve. It's got a cool little picture of Manson right there. Another variation of the album cover photo. I love that photo shoot. This is Marilyn Manson, 1995. Very cool. It's kind of weird, kind of goofy. I don't know why. It's got the Hollywood Mercury symbol right there. It's kind of stupid and not really goes with the era. It's not era correct. OCD kind of fucks with that a little bit. But then on the back, you got this. This is pretty fucking rad. It's got the different crazy looking Marilyn Manson faces. It's got a picture of Manson, Twiggy, and Pogo doing cocaine and taking a bunch of pills, it looks like. It's pretty cool photo shoot. That's bad. It's got that awesome picture of Manson on the Smells Like Children tour. The best era of Manson, in my opinion. And it's got a cool write-up. It says, a year from Portrait of an American Family, Marilyn Manson released the Stopgap EP, Smells Like Children, where the full-length debut showed sparks of character and invention beneath industrial metal sludge. Smells Like Children is a smartly crafted horror show filled with vulgarity, ugliness, goth freaks, and sideshow scares. Manson wisely chose to heighten his cartoonish personality with this EP. Honestly, whoever wrote that, allmusic.com, fucking nailed the vibe of this perfect. So yeah, let's check this out. Let's see what the vinyl looks like. Let's check it out. Oh, awesome. Kind of a green vinyl. That's badass. I love it. It's kind of like it fits the color of the album. Very cool. Green's my favorite color, as you all know. Pretty badass. Kind of like almost like a teal. Very cool. Love that. Got the center rings. Awesome. Yeah, I am very pleased with the look of this. Nah. The other vinyl that I bought from Wax Sabbath, they have sounded really fucking good. I bought, what was the other one I bought? Rat 99? Bought Rat 99 on vinyl off there, and it sounds good, dude. Like, it sounds fucking legit. So I kind of trust that these will sound good, because I'm pretty sure they're probably made by the same company that does these. So yeah, it's fucking rad, dude. Love that. Next, let's get into another album. I remember buying this album on release day. At this point in time, I was balls deep into my Marilyn Manson fandom. My mom and dad, growing up, my mom and dad were so fucking cool, dude. Like, you know, they helped get me into music. My dad is the one that exposed me to AC/DC and Aerosmith, and exposed me to Wayne's World, and that's how I found Alice Cooper and how I became a huge Alice Cooper fan. You know, and my mom listened to cool music. You know, my parents were both, you know, fucking hunting through my mom's vinyl collection was how I discovered Blue Oyster Cult. So it's like, my parents were cool, but this was the 90s, man. And while that music was kind of from their generation in the 70s and 80s, it was safe to them because they understood it. But yeah, this was the 90s, and this was coming into my era. This is my youth and my adolescence. And when you have the news at 6 showing like images of this guy, and he's spitting on people and shit, and ripping up Bibles, and they're having riots at concerts, and death threats, and all kinds of shit. He's humping people and having people lick his asshole and shit on stage. And the whole news media is telling you that this guy is out to corrupt your children and, you know, deprive them of their innocence and adolescence. You know, you're gonna get kind of freaked out, I guess, you know, and they didn't understand it, but that's part of the coolness, is I fucking loved it. So when this album was released in, was it the fall of 1998, I remember I was with my grandparents, and I remember I skipped school this day, because I said I was sick, and we went to the Jefferson Mall, and which is still around, but it's nowhere near as cool as it was back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And we went to the Jefferson Mall, and I went to one of my favorite hangouts, a record store that sadly last month just closed finally. They were around since the fucking late 70s, I believe, in the Jefferson Mall in Louisville, Kentucky. But I went to Camelot Music, and on release date of this, and yeah, picked it up on release date. I had a little money from my allowance, and I bought this album. Was scared shitless because my grandparents would have seen this. They would have freaked the fuck out and taken it from me, and probably took it to church and broke it. And who knows? But anyway, so yeah, I bought this album on release date. I remember I had to like hide it in my fucking jacket pocket. Then they asked me what I bought, and I told them nothing. And luckily they didn't ask to look at my allowance money, so I got away with it. And I had to, you know, kind of hide it. I remember I went home to my grandparents' house and rushed to the bathroom and opened it up and took the cellophane off and just gawked at it. Fucking, and, you know, just lost my shit with this. And remember taking it home and playing it on my stereo and having to turn the volume down really low because my mom heard it. She'd be like, "Is that fucking Marilyn Manson freak?" Blah, 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 blah. And then she would have taken it. It would have been a big mess. But anyway, so yeah, bought the vinyl counterfeit version, released in 1998. Marilyn Manson, Mechanical Animals. This was Manson 3 years after Smells Like Children. This is when he kind of adopted a kind of a more, I mean, obviously, if you look at this, he's like trying to be like David Bowie, Ziggy Stardust, and the Spiders from Mars. Kind of a total rip-off of that, image-wise and sound-wise. Kind of took some balls, because what he did was kind of obvious, and you would think people would be like, "Oh, fuck this guy." But actually, it kind of worked. I don't think this album was as successful as Antichrist Superstar. This album still freaked people out. And this album had some huge fucking hits on it. The Dope Show, Rock is Dead was a huge hit. I Don't Like the Drugs, but the Drugs Like Me. And Coma White, which is probably honestly my favorite Marilyn Manson song. Excellent album. This featured Marilyn Manson on lead vocals, Twiggy Ramirez on bass. Zim Zum was the guitar player on this album. helped write some of the songs with Twiggy Ramirez. So Zim Zum is on this album, but the tour he was not on. He left the band during the recording and writing of this, I believe. And live on this tour, that's when John 5 joined Marilyn Manson. And then keyboards by Donald Wayne Gacy, a.k.a. Pogo, Ginger Fish. So this is pretty much the same band that was on Smells Like Children minus Daisy Berkowitz. So in Zim Zum and John 5 as the band lineup. Excellent songs. Great Big White World, The Dope Show, Mechanical Animals, Rock is Dead, Disassociative, Speed of Pain, Posthuman, I Want to Disappear. Look at me now, I've got no religion. Look at me now, I am so vacant. Look at me now, I was a virgin. Look at me now, grew up to be a whore. Love it. Some of my favorite lyrics of Marilyn Manson. I Don't Need the Drugs, The Drugs Like Me. Excellent David Bowie-esque song. Very disco in nature. New model number 15, user-friendly, fucking dope star, obscene. Fundamentally Loathsome, The Last Day on Earth, Coma White. Excellent album. See, look at that. Marilyn Manson's got boobs. No dick. Nothing. The back of the album shows that. Cool album. Good release. One of Manson's best albums. I would throw this in my top 5 favorite Marilyn Manson albums of all time. One of these days, we'll do a Marilyn Manson album ranking here on the channel. Take the guitar pick, penetrate the slit. So this is a double vinyl. So you want to penetrate the slit, the top of the gatefold. Run it down very easily. Pick down. Take the shrink wrap off. Hang on, take the shrink off. There you go. Like it's a Christmas. There you go. So yeah, look at that. You take a look at the album. Very glossy packaging. Oh yeah! Oh yeah! Get too excited over that. So yeah, then you open up the gatefold. I like this. This is era-specific, correct pictures from the 1998, 1999 era. It's got all the lyrics, pictures from the music videos. Badass. Stills from the Dope Show video. Picture of Marilyn Manson dressed like a androgynous transgender alien sitting on a couch. There he is, live, or the Rock is Dead music video. It's pretty fucking cool. All the lyrics. Very nice package, dude. Very nice. Very impressed. So let's see what the vinyl looks like. I'll pull it out. The white sleeve. Polyline sleeve. Very impressive. Here's the record. Oh, cool. All right. So it's on like this is fucking nice, dude. Kind of feels like 180. Kind of silver platinum swirl. Very nice. Very cool. I love that, dude. That's sexy, man. Very impressed. So far, of all of the counterfeit vinyl that I've bought, this is probably the nicest presentation-wise. I'm very impressed with this. Totally worth the money I spent. Here's the second record. Once again, that's silver. Look at that. You see the swirl in it? That's badass, dude. Silver, glittery glam vinyl. This is presentation-wise very nice. Very pleased with this. This is a good album. Like I said, if I was going to give you an early ranking, my Manson rankings, I would say this is probably my fourth or fifth favorite Manson album, Mechanical Animals, released in the glorious year of 1998. You know, and one of the things I loved about Manson back then is not only did he piss the churches off, he pissed parents off, he pissed the bullies, he used to kick my ass off. You know, this is in 1998, dude. This was in the late 90s in a sea of bullshit hip-hop and gangster rap. Boy bands, NSYNC, fucking Backstreet Boys, which now I like that music, but back then I fucking hated it. Because it was the enemy. That wasn't rock and roll, this fucking was. Then you got the Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera shit, and then the new metal crap, which I couldn't stand. The yo motherfucker, yeah, Fred Durst and Limp Bizkit and all that garbage. I fucking hated that shit. This was rock and roll, dude. Marilyn Manson was like my generation's. He was my generation's fucking middle finger to the establishment, middle finger to everybody that wasn't cool. You know, he was it, dude. He was the fucking rock star of my era. You know, like of music that was brand new and coming out then. Of course, I grew up loving Kiss and Alice, all those. They were the same, but this was my fucking dude, man. So yeah, Mechanical Animals, excellent. Can't wait to check these out, dude. Mechanical Animals, 1998. Very impressed with this. And now we're gonna switch. We'll switch it up a little bit. Gonna go with another top 5 favorite band for me, easily. Yeah, this is the other purchase I made. This band, I don't like how they do things nowadays. Because if you didn't know any better, and if you were on the outside, you weren't really a hardcore fan of this band like I am, you would only think that their career only lasted from like 1981 to 1989 because they totally fucking ignore everything else released after 1989 at this point, except for maybe Saints of Los Angeles. They still play Saints of Los Angeles live, but nothing else. And they have released numerous times. They have re-released and reissued Too Fast for Love, Shot the Devil, Theater of Pain, Girls Those Girls, and Dr. Feelgood on vinyl, but they've never released the rest of the albums, reissued the rest of the catalog, which is only 4 fucking albums on vinyl. And honestly, while they should, BMG would make a killing off me and all the other crew-tards. You know, I got kind of sick and tired of waiting, dude. And I want all the Motley Crue albums on fucking vinyl. So with my last purchase from a couple months ago, I purchased one of my favorite Motley Crue albums, New Tattoo. Got that on vinyl. Was highly impressed with the way it sounded. Highly impressed with the presentation. If you watch that unboxing video, I didn't like that in the gatefold it showed some pictures of like incorrect era photos and had pictures of Tommy Lee in it, and it was Randy Castillo that played drums. But anyway, blah blah blah. Gonna do an unboxing of one of the albums that when it came out, I remember when this album came out, it went straight into the fucking dump. It went straight into the cutout bin, which in my opinion, I always love hunting through the fucking cutout bins, because that's where you would find some fucking gems, man. But this album, upon release, went straight into the cutout bin. Nobody cared for this. Nobody liked it. Fluffed the hair up. But now, everybody fucking loves this album. Well, not everybody, but majority of the people do. And a lot of people think that along with the first two, Too Fast for Love and Shout the Devil, they think this is the best. Or some people think this is the best Motley Crue album. Talking about 1994. Whoa, God, almost dropped it. 1994's Motley Crue album, reissued on vinyl. Check it out. I know they have the, where's it? Can I find it? Oh, yeah. So when this was released, they had the yellow cover, and they had there's the actually autograph from John Corabi when I met Corabi. Here's the red cover CD. Whenever I first bought this album, probably back in like 98 or 99, in the cutout bin, I chose the yellow version. I've always liked the yellow cover better. And on Wax Sabbath, they had it's where you could buy the yellow cover or the red. And I've always liked the yellow cover, man. I think the yellow cover looks fucking cool. Kind of stands out more. Looks more unique. Because Motley Crue uses red a lot in their color scheme. And I like that. Kind of fits that grungy vibe. But yeah, if you know, man, everybody knows the story. You know, this was whenever they shit-canned. Vince says he was fired. Nikki Sixx says Vince Neil left the band. I believe that Nikki, Tommy, and Mick shit-canned Vince. I'm with Vince on this. I think they shit-canned Vince because this was the 90s. They saw the writing on the wall that, you know, the frontmen and the lead singers of Vince Neil's style and caliber were on their way out. And it was getting more gritty and shit with Alice in Chains and Pantera and those kind of bands. And with this album, Motley Crue kinda changed their style to fit more in league with bands like Pantera and Alice in Chains. I think those are two of the biggest influences on the band with this album. But really, in my opinion, though, you listen to Primal Scream on Decade of Decadence, I think Motley Crue was kind of headed in this direction anyway, because Primal Scream was a little darker, a little more groove influence, a little heavier. than their previous stuff, except for maybe Shout the Devil. So I think they were headed in that direction anyway. And then once they got John Corabi in the band, they just went whoosh, straight for the fucking jugular on this. This is a very heavier, more groove-laden release. This is very grungy, very dirty, dark. This is a badass fucking album. And I had to have it on vinyl. Here it is. Presentation-wise, the cover looks fucking perfect. Looks awesome. The back looks awesome. Like, you take the original CD, you know, kind of looks like that. And then when you open up the booklet, it says listen. So see, that's kind of what they tried to recreate on that. So it's different font. You see what they tried to. They tried to recreate that for the back. So yeah, there's that. And, you know, the back has got like a pretty cool looking picture of Motley right there. I've always loved that picture. Nikki wearing a cool Batman shirt. Awesome. But in this one, same photo shoot. You know, Nikki rocking the cool Batman tee. Here's Tommy, Mick, John, Nikki. Badass album. Power, power to the music. Linda Streets. Uncle Jack, Uncle Jack. Love that song. Hooligans Holidays, awesome. Misunderstood. Her life is a misunderstood, yeah. So you close your eyes and dream of better days, yeah, yeah. John Corabi with his cool bluesy voice. Love Shine, which is like Motley Crue trying to do like a Led Zeppelin. Nah, baby, walked a million miles, climbing up the mountain, looking above your smile. Oh, sugar. I'm not John Corabi. But yeah, Love Shine was kind of Motley Crue trying to be like Led Zeppelin. Poison Apple's my favorite fucking song on this album. If any song on this album harkens back to 80s Crüe, it's Poison Apples. Pretty little poison apples, see the smiles tattooed on her face. No disgrace. I don't even know what he says there. I just made the sounds. But yeah, anyway. Hammered, hammered. Badass. Till Death Do Us Part, Welcome to the Numb, Smoke the Sky. Be said, have it, lie in hell to do. Motley Crue's weed smoking song, love that. Yeah, fucking drop it like flies. And drift away, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Awesome album. So let's check it out. Let's see if this can be as cool looking as Smells Like Children and Mechanical Animals. So is this not a gatefold? So you find that. So you find the side slit. And you take it on down enough to not damage the sleeve, but just enough to penetrate the slit where you can stick your fingers in and rip it apart. Baby, I got some Marilyn Manson Mechanical Animals spinning in the background. Clean takeoff. All right, so yeah, check it out. This is fucking gorgeous, dude. This is badass. Love it. Wax Sabbath, baby. Facebook, check them out. Let's check it out. All right, so presentation-wise, this is good shit. This is 2 vinyl set. Oh, hang on. All right, so look, you pull it out. Oh, this is fucking legit looking, dude. Black sleeve, paper line, which, I mean, you know, as long as you're careful, it won't scratch your vinyl up. Check us out. This is cool. On gold vinyl, gold marble vinyl. Definitely fucking 180. Feels like it. Look at that. That's pretty fucking. I thought this was gonna be black. As you know from watching this show, I'm a fan of colored vinyl. And no, Dr. Fuck, I'm not racist. I just love colored vinyl. I think it's neat. Look at that. That's fucking sexy, dude. That's hot. Yeah, so that's cool. That's side one. So that's side one. Pretty cool. Take out. Oh, okay. So I was kind of wondering. So here's like a little, maybe a lyric sheet. Pretty fucking sweet. I love the presentation of this. There's that cool picture with the guys, Nikki, John, Mick, and Tommy. Excellent version of the band. Cool Motley Crue logo, parental advisory. So 90s. So 90s. Then you turn it around. There's a cool lyric sheet. This is fucking gorgeous. This is awesome. If Motley Crue re-released this, I don't even know if it would be this nice, honestly. So there's that. And then, you know, you take out the paper sleeve. It's got the cool Electra. That's probably what it would have looked like. I mean, maybe if you get like an original vinyl copy from the 90s, it's probably what it would have looked like. Electra label in the middle. Pull this out. And once again, sexy gold marble vinyl. Pretty fucking nice, dude. I am very impressed. Very impressed with this. Fucking impressed, dude. They sound good. I will give full props to Wax Sabbath. Wax Sabbath vinyl group on Facebook. Check them out. You know, dude, they're just doing, they're just doing the collectors a little public service. You know, these record labels don't want to. They don't want to invest the money. They think that a lot of these records might not sell, you know, which I think some of this is insanity. Really, all three of these would fucking sell great. So really, it's the record labels that are missing out, man. And groups and people like the fine folks at Wax Sabbath are doing us, the collectors, you know, they're doing us a favor. I mean, are these as good as the legit versions? I don't know. Only time will tell to see if we can compare these to the reissues. But yeah, I picked up Motley Crue, Marilyn Manson, Mechanical Animals, all three 90s releases, and Marilyn Manson Smells Like Children. Highly impressed with all three of them. So, you know, if this is your thing, if you're into this, I just kind of started recently getting into the counterfeit bootleg scene, and so far I'm impressed. I think it's fucking pretty cool. So if you are, check out Wax Sabbath on Facebook. Thanks for tuning in to Radical Rockin Record Reviews, and I will see you next time. See ya.